Good evening.
We are top of the league. We are top of the league. We are top of the league.
Before to squeeze that in before we start. Good evening. Welcome to Sunday edition of Sky Blue Fans TV. Everybody's got a spring in their step, I'm sure, this weekend after that fantastic victory over Mark Robbins' Stoke City. We left it late. Yes, we did, but I thought overall we deserved the 3 points. Record attendance, 31,516 squeezed into the CBS Arena. That's a record attendance for the CBS. 3 points in the bag. 12 points, obviously, from the last 4 games. That's 4 double wins on the bounce. Double wins on the bounce. So, well, what can we say? We're going to discuss all that with the team. Vicky's not quite here yet. She will be joining us shortly. But we have got Claudio and Jack. Good evening, both.
I'm getting booed.
Oh, you get... Is that what it was? Boo. Well, sometimes you deserve it, but
no need for the booing already. I haven't said anything yet.
No, how are you? Are you okay? Nice weekend?
It's been fabulous, hasn't it, Ken?
Yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely fabulous. And a kind of liquid lunch, which is going to be interesting because,
Yes, we were all out earlier and had a little bit of a get together, didn't we? So it was interesting. Yeah, you'll hear more about that in the weeks to come, I'm sure. Jack, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
A round of applause. But tell me about your shirt. You got that shirt. What shirt's that you got on?
I've been splashing the cash, Ken.
Well, I'm sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure you said you did not like that shirt.
That's incorrect, Ken. I actually said I hated it.
I hated it, yeah. So what changed your mind then?
Do you know what? Seeing some photos on social media in different lighting on Friday, I thought, actually, that's not as bad as I thought. And I walked in the shop and the brown is just a completely different brown to what I expected. And
okay,
I just liked it. I saw it and went, yeah, that's a bit of me, that. So
impulse buying then, you just bought it and thought that was it.
Yeah, basically.
Fantastic, yeah. Okay, Vicky's arrived. Good evening, Vicky. Go in. We've all got our little booze or clapping for us after we appear now. How are you? You okay, Vic?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I did see you yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah, don't tell the story.
Yes, no, I won't tell the story. It's been embarrassing, but let's say it was very exciting right at the end, wasn't it? And,
it was.
Yeah, it was all in good humour. So anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? There's no Miles tonight. He's having a rest. He's putting his feet up, and he's got loads of things to do. He's got his dog to deal with and all sorts. So he'll be back on Thursday, I'm sure. Okay, let's move to Claudia then. Good evening, mate. Let's discuss that team selection, because there was one change, wasn't there, in the team? I didn't expect it, but he first surprised and dropped Sakamoto and put SA in.
I think the word is rotation, Ken. I think that's what they use now. I was surprised he left him out. I know he got a bit of a buffeting at Sheffield United. Maybe Frank thought with the Stoke playing with 4 burly centre halves across the back 4, maybe SA with his sleight of feet, whatever, might cause him problems. But I think we were quite wasteful with the use of SA. I thought we heavily relied on EMC, didn't we, the first half?
Yeah.
So we didn't really go down the right hand side at all, and so he didn't really have much touches on it. It'd be interesting how many touches he had the ball, but he's got a lot to learn. And the price tag of 12 million that Millwall got from Palace and going on to 14 million doesn't seem like a bargain at the minute, if I'm honest.
No,
he's obviously got loads of talents and he's got tricks and stuff, but there's only 11, 12 games to go. As good as that is, I want a player who's steady, who you know what you're going to get from, who knows the job he needs to do, and is probably going to get us over the line more than what SA is at the minute. Eze. Is it Eze? I keep saying it wrong. I know.
Eze.
But yeah, that was a surprise. Because I honestly thought he was going to go with the same 11 again, actually. So
I'm very surprised,
yeah.
to be fair.
But I wasn't disappointed he left Sakamoto at the starting lineup. But after what I saw of SA yesterday, it's definitely not first choice for me over Sakamoto.
Well, I think it's just important to have them on the bench. I think he'd prefer. I think he performs better if he comes off the bench. To be honest, and it's good to have a strong bench. And I think he's brought the players in, obviously for competition for places as well, and it keeps all the rest of the players on their toes. I know Sakamoto had a bit of a bruising game against Sheffield United, didn't he? So maybe he decided to give him a rest and keep him fresh for the games ahead.
I don't know if he really knows his role when he's playing on that right hand side, because he doesn't really tug the touchline, does he? Like Sakamoto does. Sakamoto rarely comes inside. So he just looks like he wants to get involved. He probably needs to play, in the Rodoni role. That kind of role. I don't know. It seemed. It's almost like he just didn't really know what he should be doing out there, basically. And when you've had Sakamoto and Milan have been playing together for a couple of seasons now, they're used to each other, aren't they? And it just felt like, yet again, Milan with SA in front of him doesn't get forward as much as when Sakamoto's there. So I don't know. To me, it's a very good player. We can see that, but he's probably not what we need in these games now. When you need to get over the line, when we get promotion in 5 games' time, then he can play him as much as he wants.
Yeah, well, that's very confident of you, Claudia. Yes, it's nice to hear some confident words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jack, we'll come to you then. Just as you're drinking your drink. Good
time.
First half, then. How did you see that first half going? Because it was quite exciting. I thought we dominated it. I thought.
Yeah, it looked men against boys, didn't it, in that first half? I want to agree with Claudio on the essay role. He looks like he should be a number 10, and we keep playing him off the right. I don't understand it, but not once have we deployed him in a 10. I think we've moved him there with some subs, and then he's eventually gone off. But we were focusing all our attack down the left, but it was working because EMC was turning that poor fullback who was a centre back inside and out. And yeah, that's obviously where the goal came from. We'll get onto that, but it was just a dominant performance for the entire half, wasn't it? It was men against boys. It was champions against a bottom half club at their home ground. It was just everything we wanted to see and more. The downside is we only scored 1 goal.
That is a big thing for me. And when you've only scored 1 goal, if you dominated that much and you only score 1 goal, it only takes them. They're still in the game, aren't they? It only takes them one slip up and they're back in.
Yeah, exactly. And I said on the Thursday show that we were going to go in 1-0 at half time and we're going to come out the blocks and do them 4-0 overall. So it was looking very likely when they put 3 minutes up. I think that was the right amount of time, personally. When they put 3 minutes up, I thought, okay, let's just get to half time at 1-0. I'm spot on with my prediction so far. We're absolutely battering them, and in the second half, they're going to have to come out and attack us, and we'll blow them away. I was so convinced of that, and obviously we just went to sleep for 30 seconds, didn't we? At the end.
Yeah, it's a shame because that was the first time they'd really been down our end, and it was a silly corner we give away. Well, just Hadji scuffed it, really, tried to clear it. He had time to bring it down and clear it, really, because there's no one near him. And he hit it first time, and it scuffed off him and trickled out for a corner. And lo and behold, they score for the first chance. And Mark Robbins must have thought, oh, God, I've more looks in here. Because the way they were celebrating on the bench at Stoke, they thought they'd won the game, I think, when he equalised. Well,
you heard Mark Robbins' interview after the game. I thought he spoke very well, to be fair. He was very complimentary about how we were playing and the atmosphere we were generating. And the very first thing he said in his interview was, well, we didn't turn up for the first half. And he's absolutely right. They turned up literally for that corner. And then the second half they were a decent team because they were still in the competition. But yeah, for the first 45 of 48 minutes, it was really just a one-horse race.
Great cross for the goal, wasn't it, from De Silva, for the header from Hadji. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, that left-hand side, ironically, it was Efron tearing that defender a new rear, let's say, for most of it, but it was De Silva that got the goal, or the assist, sorry. I still can't believe he managed to put that cross in. You know, he did the classic thing of just flicking it and putting it with his left foot, and you just thought, oh, he's not flicked it far enough. All the defenders got to stick a leg out.
I thought he'd run out of room, to be fair.
Yeah,
and somehow he got in there.
And the defender just didn't stop the cross. If that was Milan or Bidwell or even De Silva or Latabodiere at our end, we would be absolutely crucifying them for not stopping that cross. Given the proximity of where the defender was to the ball, that is an awful bit of defending.
Yeah, it was. I've had some. I mean, their goalkeeper had a great game as well. He kept them in the game really that first half, didn't he? He made some great saves, and it's just what concerned that just a lack of. Well, I don't know what it was. It's just that final. Finishing touch, everything else was perfect, weren't it? It's just the ball, whether the ball fell to the wrong player or, you know, but I can't really criticise them really, because that first half to me I thought was probably one of the best first halves we've had all season, but we only had one goal to show for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there were a few shots that went slightly wide or over the bar. There was a couple deflected wide, a couple that deflected straight into the keeper's hands. Another day, we go and do a QPR and we go in at 4-5-0 at half time.
Yeah. Okay, before we come to the second half, then you got some comments. Shall we get some comments in, Claudio?
The 95th winner at the CBS broke the spirits of the Cockneys, Yorkies, Smoggies, Tractor Boys, former managers, time-wasting goalies, and second-tier hosts across the country. PUSB, that's from Mark Reed. I like the reference to the second tier. Finn says, can we win the championship in style by getting another record-breaking winning run, going to 6 over the line? Dark Farts, we have to enjoy this season and the victories as next season. When we are in the Prem, it won't be as easy, but you never know. With some good players brought in the summer, we can stay up. It's not been particularly easy this season, to be honest. Assassins Unite says, well, what an end to the game. Super Frank celebrations at the end were fantastic. Ryan Matthew J says, I don't care if Rob Gurney tells me the BBC don't condone it, City boys. We're on a bender. We're going up with Frank Onyeka. Kind of works, isn't it? The title is so close now, I'm still buzzing. Well, Wayne Brewerton, great win to a cheating Stoke side with only hitting form at the right time. Wayne Brewerton says, he just said that. Carl O'Connor says, we enjoy an injury time winner against Stoke. Didn't Bobby Thomas score in the 96th minute last season? He did. It was wonderful. Great interview by Jack on another channel yesterday from Wayne Brewerton. Alex says, following from yesterday's forecasting the promotion day party, I think it will be 11th of April against Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh,
I don't think I can wait that long. That shirt takes the pain away from Jack's Timu cap, says Finn. Yes. Mine's in the post, the shirt, not the cap. Mark Rainbow, Jack hates the brown shirt so much he already been on the other social media channels wearing it. What a media tart.
Claudio called me worse off air.
Yeah. Dawn Cook says, she fell over and I missed it because I was looking the other way.
Yes, you were looking the other way, Dawn. She came up to get the programme off me. And unfortunately, I always tell the story now that Dawn started it off. The steps that go further up are slightly larger than the other steps. And let's just say Vicky lost her footing slightly. Yeah.
You went down like Bruno Fernandes. And for those of you interested, you'll find some photographs of Dawn in the sun from 2001. I'll just leave it at that, shall I?
Yeah.
Sausage Unite. This is the best league season we've had since our promotion in 1966. Statistically, the most points our manager has, the best wins per game, best attendances, average 30k, best chairman, enjoy the season. Frank Wood thinks that essay worked really hard yesterday, chased back very well. So does Ryan Matthew. He thinks the same as well.
Sorry, can I just clarify on the points thing? We got 75 points when we were in League Two, only in 2017-18. So we're not quite at the points record yet, but we are only 3 points off that. So we will get it, don't worry.
Martin King, Tats is worth more than SA, and we got him for £1.5 million. Well, this is what he said. That's what Dan Plowman said. Whoever recruited him and found him. It's incredible signing. Steve Curry, evening guys and gals. SA would be better as an impact player coming off the bench. I would have played Asante instead of Sakamoto. It's definitely first choice. Yeah, he could have done, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Anthony Pettifer. I thought SA was quiet compared to previous games. Looks slower.
See, I don't know whether they've got an agreement with Crystal Palace that they've got to play so many games. I don't know. We don't know that, do we? But
I don't think that's a thing anyway. I think all that happens is clubs get annoyed if you don't play them. Assassins United, Rudoni's back in his best 3 winning goals in 3 matches, and Frankie's loving the way he's playing. Paul Stratton says 3 great points. 3 great. Oh God, get the words out in a minute. 3 great 3 points again. It's all about results now. How we get the job done is irrelevant. I'm never drinking at lunchtime again. Does Hadji make the challenge on goalkeeper for Rudy Cole? Wayne Littlewood, what a first half yesterday. Thought we moved it brilliantly with Rudoni, EMC and Grimes. I said to Luca, I think that's the best. When we after half an hour, I actually said this is the best we've played at home, I think, for a long time.
Yeah.
We're just missing the goals, weren't we?
Yeah.
And just as done, says Ian Small, Stoke got what they deserved. SA didn't really shine, preferred Tats. Rudy's best game since his injury, I dare to believe. Mrs. recovered, so I'm over for PNE and Saints. Brilliant.
Okay.
Alex says, after yesterday, I'm finally starting to properly think it's going to happen. Frank Onyeka has been the missing piece in the jigsaw. It was noticeable when he went off. Hi, folks. Great result yesterday. Those 2 extra points we secured might be very important in the shake-up. This is from Ralph Wiggins. Maybe get us back to the Premier League as champions instead of runners-up. Wayne Littlewood says, was really surprised how poor Stoke looked. I think Mars' tattoo should be of Frank rubbing his belly to the Stoke dimwits. Yes. Steve Curry says Rudoni is going to be to spot. Rudoni is going to. I'm not sure what that means. What a time to recapture that last season's form. Was brilliant yesterday, and my man of the match was De Silva, a close second. Go home, you're drunk, man. It's not that. I'm trying to read it as it's written. That's all I can say. The squad, as well as starting 11, is interesting. It's been Frank's MO to keep a settled side. Interesting that Wolfenden hasn't made the bench for the last 2 games. Yes. Wayne Go says, anyone watched Robin's interview after the match? He kept calling the stadium noisy. It was hilarious. Well, it was at times. If Bristol win Tuesday, we don't play Saturday. Do you not play? So do you think not playing and having a rest can benefit us or hinder us? We'll probably talk about that in a bit. Assassins Unite. The togetherness in the squad is there for all to see. Sakamoto looked like his head was going to explode and the bench went berserk. First half, best football we played for a few games. When you say we battered them, it was no illusion. Wayne says, defending for the corner was very poor. Getting caught like that at the near post was criminal. Kudos to Sims for not giving up in the second half for our goal. Ian Harris says, I was thinking the same, Alex. If Bristol go through, may do us a favour with resting players for 10 days. I think it will.
Yeah, I think it probably would, to be fair, as well.
I'll read a couple more. Is it a coincidence that we again struggled against low block when Onyeka went off? Ellis found a way. And Cam says, SA, he's definitely got something about him. You can see there's a player there, even if it's not the finished article yet. The key is thinking long term. With the right coaching and a bit of patience, he could develop into a very useful option in the Premier League next season. There's raw potential there. It just needs nurturing and the right environment to bring him out consistently. But he's not staying, Cam. And I don't think it's our position to be doing, to coach him to be a better player, as far as I'm concerned. Wayne Litwood says, Rudoni staying fit is absolutely key now for the remainder of the season. He's certainly shown his class now and running the show. And Mad Frankie says, all season players come through at different times, which has helped. At the minute, Wright, Rudoni and Yeka flying. Assassin's Knight says, 5 wins will probably all we need now. Over to you.
Okay. Let's move on to the second half. Vicky can take us through the second half and what she thought of it. How do you think it went in the second half? What do you think? What was your thoughts on that second half, Vic?
It just was hard work, wasn't it? Because Stoke had got their equaliser. That goal just before half time completely changed the dynamic of the second half, didn't it? I think, like the guys have said, we were so in control in that first half, and you could only ever see one result. And I wasn't really bothered. We only got the one goal. I just thought over the 90 minutes, more goals will follow, and we're going to win this game. And but they'd got a point to fight for. They were clearly happy with a point. So they're just playing. And I think that and the combination of Annette and Yeka going off just made it a bit more difficult, because then Grimes started just sitting a little bit deeper like he had been in recent weeks. And we just slowed it right down. And we just know that we play better when we play the ball faster and get the sort of players moving forward quickly. And so just, I don't know, it just felt like we made it a little bit more hard work of it than we needed to, really.
Do you think he got the subs right in the second half, Frank?
Yeah, I think because EMC had been great in the first half, and but he just slowly sort of drifted out of the game as the second half went on. And so I think bringing Asante on and like livening that up again really helped. I think Sakamoto on the other side, and then like Sims coming on and putting that pressure under the goalkeeper that ultimately obviously got the winning goal. I think that all worked perfectly. I guess I might have gone Eccles rather than Torp for when Frank had to go off, but other than that, I thought it was the right choice. It's just, and I guess it's funny, isn't it? Because a few weeks ago we were talking about subs and who we could bring on to influence games, and now we were able to bring on Sakamoto, Asante, and Sims all off the bench, and they all made a difference and contributed.
I mean, he could have. There was such a choice there. He could have brought 2 or 3 different players on there, couldn't he? Really, to play in that can play in midfield or various positions. I mean, the bench is really strong. But one that did come on is Ellis Sims, and he played a part in that winning goal, didn't he?
He did, super Ellis.
Yeah.
Someone stopped me in Starbucks to tell me that my man had helped win the game.
He chased down the goalkeeper, who I thought had a fantastic game, by the way, their goalkeeper. He kept them in the game, didn't he?
Yeah, their fans were giving him a lot of stick, and I think it was really the defenders. They put him in a really difficult position because he can't touch it, he can't take out Sims. Like, he's got to just try and influence that. And whereas they send him back to the goal and they defend that properly. So I think that for a young goalkeeper, the fans that like Stoke fans giving him grief, I think it's harsh because I think he kept them in the game to that point, and that just was a momentary lapse. But I don't think that the more experienced defenders helped him. So, but yeah, I mean, we don't really care. We got 3 points, and I've never seen. I mean, the noise at the end, that was electric, wasn't it? Like that ground was bouncing at the end. That was great.
Yeah, I mean, he kept them in the game for me, to be honest, with some of the saves he made, especially in the first half. I thought I was quite impressed with him, to be fair. But yeah, much deserved, I thought, that final whistle. It's a bit of a relief when that ball went in, weren't it? Because I know Robbins in his interview said he thought it was going wide. When I did it first. I thought it was looping away, and then it suddenly started, and I thought, I think that's going in. You know, you sort of watched it going, is it? Yes. It was like, yeah. But the trouble is, it would have felt very much like we're throwing 2 points away, wouldn't it? If we had to, like, before that win of 4 matches, if we'd have said 10 points from 4 matches, we'd have probably thought with the Sheffield United game and the Middlesbrough game that 10
points was a fairly decent return. But once we'd got the 9 from 3, to have thrown away 2 points yesterday would have been so frustrating. So it felt almost like a loss, I think. So it was that. I mean, that just lifted spirits at the end, and you could just tell what it meant to the players, to the fans, just the whole stadium, like the reaction. Everyone knew how important that was.
And Jack Madoni getting back to full form now, isn't he?
Oh, he's looking good again, isn't he? Yeah. And I think I said the other week, it's a shame that like people were saying, oh, he's lost it. He won't, like, we should sell him, all this sort of rubbish. You're just thinking all he needed was just the time to get back to fitness and form and what else was going on in his life. And we know that player was there, and now we're seeing it again. And it's just always a shame sometimes that people won't back the players that they know have got that ability just when they're having a rough spell, when they could actually probably do with that support. He probably needs the support less now because he's in a better place. He could have done with the support a few weeks ago but we sometimes wait until they're back there before we're actually prepared to get behind them again, which I just think is a bit of a shame sometimes.
Yeah, well, he was man of the match actually, and we have his little interview, don't we, Jack? We can put on there for you.
Yeah, I'll stick it on now.
This is what he said.
The match winner. Player of the match, Mr. Jack Madoni. I think it's a strange game because we had so many chances first half to put the sort of game to bed a little bit, and if you don't, that doesn't happen, you're always on a bit of a knife edge.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we said at half time. We should have put it to bed. We had more than enough chances, but we were just saying stay calm, and our chances will come. Keep playing how we were playing, and there's no doubt we will win. It was later than we expected, but yeah.
Now, I don't know how you do it, Jack, but the ball seems to be tied to your foot. It was brilliant skills, brilliant ball work, but also harness with hard work as well. You work your socks off closing down. They love you.
Yeah, I mean, love you guys too. I mean, the guy first spoke to me in the week and said, he showed me some clips from the Sheffield game. I was like, you need to run quicker and harder. So today I was like, I have to press a bit harder. But no, it was a great game.
And it was done it's Legends Day today. I don't know if you're aware about this, about 40, 50 ex-players. We've not done great on Legends Day. I think a few years ago we played Stoke, we did not beat 3 or 4-0. So it was great to get that win today and in front of the best crowd of the season.
Yeah, I seen mid-game it said near record attendance, so that's thanks to you guys, and I'm glad we could get a win for you.
And
who's that lady at the front?
Frank Onyeki, is that how you say it? From the tank, that's fine. He's gone off, it looked like he's injured. Have you got any news on that?
I mean, I asked him after the game, he was like, oh, I'll be fine.
He's probably got a broken leg, but he's slugging off. He's from the tank. And, the whole team played well. And I think Joel, in particular for me, as a defender, I thought Joel did a really good job as well.
100%. Since Jackson come back into the team, he's been second to none for us almost. So you can see that in the games he's played, not just this one. He's been excellent, so credit to him.
Well, we thank you for coming up here. So it's great that you've got a crowd like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Karen onto the stage.
Sorry?
Who let the Karen onto the stage?
Well, there was, I think it was a rather drunken lady at the front of the stage who blocking everybody's view. She just sort of appeared from nowhere and wouldn't sit down, and she was sort of standing right in the front. And so everybody that was recording behind was trying to tell her to sit down, and she wouldn't. But she obviously just ignored everybody and carried on standing up. But I thought he spoke very well there, Jack. And he said it as it was, didn't he? And he always speaks well in interviews, I think, Jack Madoni. Comes across very intelligent guy. So he did mention, obviously, it was a record attendance, 31,560 squeezed into the CBS arena. And hopefully, that long may that continue, and there's Frank at the end after doing all the applause, getting his applause as he's walking back, enjoying the fans at the end of the final whistle as he normally does. And this is an unusual picture as well. I've seen them. You seen this, Vicky, didn't you?
I thought, what's the photographer doing? Well, first of all, I thought, who's that on the floor?
He was sticking his camera on the floor when they were like in a. I thought it was a very good picture. That is very good, and it's obviously we'll probably see that in City Unseen what they actually said in that huddle. Be interesting, wouldn't it? Who said?
Matty Grimes has gone is saying to the lads, "Don't worry about Ipswich, lads. They've got to go to Middlesbrough and get something."
It's a good job Liam Kelly wasn't in that photograph.
He'd be covering half of it up.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see what. Well, we probably will see the footage of it actually in City Unseen, no doubt. So, okay, Claudia, you got some more? You got some more comments?
I have, yes. Anthony Phillips says EMC was ripping them apart. None of that in the second half. I actually thought what happened in the second half is they got the equaliser, so they were quite happy with the draw at the time.
Yeah.
And they definitely doubled up on EMC. Rodoni didn't get as much space, and we were struggling to get the ball out, and we resorted to moving it too slowly again. But I have a problem still when Bobby Thomas is on the ball and he will not give it to Milan. And he was doing what he was doing last season, going back to the other centre half. And I thought, then putting Latti under pressure. No need for it. I can't believe they haven't got the confidence to give it to Milan. And me and Jack were talking about this earlier. And then when he gave it to Milan, he never turned his body, opened himself up to then look at Sakamoto. He just went straight back again.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was just a ploy. It seems like a strange one to take when it was 1-1. Whereas in the first half, we were reliant on just getting the ball forward quickly. So I was a bit disappointed with that in the second half. It was, I wouldn't say we almost ran out of ideas, but it did feel that way, that we didn't know how to break down a block again.
Yeah,
which was a bit concerning. And I mean, we did have the odd chance, didn't we, in the second half? Nothing like the first half, was it?
No, nothing like the first half, though. But I think justice was done in the end, wasn't it?
Well, it was, because we should have been way out in front in the first half.
Yeah.
Right, deserves a mention. The way he peeled off at the back post was class for his goal, and he made some great runs again. 16 goals now. He's on for the magic 20. Yeah,
is he top goal scorer now, or is he somebody above him?
Swansea guy.
I think Vipotnik's still top. I'll have a quick look.
Yeah, the Swansea guy, a bit like Pirro when he was top of the charts. No one had heard of him. How did Swansea get leading goal scorers? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they had Matty Grimes. That was part of the thing, wasn't it, back then? But no, Vipotnik's 16 goals had you right 15. So with the four Maggies in, I'd back him to be top goal scorer.
Don Cook says, you need to elaborate or people will think it was page 3. Look, I only saw the headshot. It could have been Dawn.
Well, we'll put it up on the next show. We'll see you and get it, and we'll put it up for you.
We'll can't show it.
Oh,
happy watershed.
Oh yeah.
Craig Robinson says from the Sky Blue Fans Forum on Facebook, Craig assures me it is the best forum. Did you notice, Claudio and gang, how Stoke scored their goal? A flick on from the near post from the corner, which is what we've talked about.
Yeah, very easy, wasn't it? Too easy, really.
Amazing how often teams score. Like, you know, when a team gives away a corner unnecessarily, how often like that the opposition team then score from that corner, like more than. I mean, I don't know if it's just. I don't know whether it's actually whether that's anecdotal or whether it's actually true, but it just feels like that happens a lot. That you give away a corner sloppily and then you just always seem to concede from it.
Well, Arsenal totally dominated Chelsea and they were 1-up, and Chelsea scored from a corner.
To
equalise. Yeah. Always dangerous set pieces.
Yeah.
You know, just think we tired a little bit anxious. We have a tendency at times to not take our chances, and we always give the opposition a chance. Glad they've got a rest now. Jack looks smart in brown. Ooh. The thing is, back in the 70s when the kit came out, brown wasn't an unusual colour because a lot of men used to wear brown suits, didn't they, Ken? Do you remember those days?
No, I don't actually. No, maybe you've got a brown suit in your wardrobe. I haven't.
No, but brown was a normal colour to be seen out in.
Yeah, a lot of the older gentlemen used to, like yourself, used to go out shirt and tie, suits on, in the evening. Whereas now you just sort of go out and anything really, smart casual, isn't it?
It is interesting because you could go to work in men's clubs years ago, and the men would be wearing proper jackets,
yeah, suit and
shirt and tie, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
If I wore a shirt and tie now and a jacket, you'd think I'm due in court or something.
Yeah, my dad used to, when he used to go out, he always wore a shirt and tie when he went out to the local club, yeah.
I might start doing the show in a shirt and tie.
No offence, guys, but we've had boring points of this season. We're top of the league. We're absolutely walloping this league. And all you can talk about is brown suits in working men's clubs.
Well, we started off with your shirt. That's what brought it up.
Yeah.
There's better things to be talking about. We're top of the league. We've just done 4 double in a row.
Your decision to buy that shirt after criticising it.
The show's only just started. You can't climax too early, Jack. You got to take your time. That's the trouble with you youngsters. You're too impatient.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Skyblue Mickey says, any chance of getting Kieran Maguire back on to talk about the exact amount of money we could earn by getting promoted? Well, yes.
The finance guy, that is.
Well, I emailed him on Friday, and he emailed me back while I was at CWR, and I didn't see it until I came out of the studio, and I couldn't arrange something quick enough because he could have done it there and then, and I didn't realise because there's normally about a day's delay, but he'll probably reply, and we'll get him on, and we'll have a chat with him, and yeah, we'll get to the ins and outs. Ryan Matthew J, shout out to Jack too. When we were in the blip and people saying we'd bottled it, he said Onyeka would be the difference, and he was right, to be fair to him. At the moment, he is right, yes.
I'm having a good night tonight, aren't I?
Dean Cleaver, yeah, you've dress sense and everything. I said to Jack on Saturday, the book is having us at 1 to 25 on to get promoted. I think it's done.
Yeah.
They're mad odds, they are. Paula Collins says, evening guys and girls, did you know that the Great Wall of China was deliberately designed with that feature to stop enemies attacking? Hard walking up in your heels in the Lady Godiva Firehorse. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's almost as surreal as I am, I think. I watched Jack on the Scouts podcast before the game. Did a good job, buddy.
Thank you.
It was a bit miffed because he spoke to him for half an hour and he showed him for 2.5 minutes, Jack. That's right, isn't it?
No, to be fair, we did about, well, everything that you saw on that was recorded. We just got chatting for about 20 minutes, half an hour afterwards. He was such a nice guy, and he's an Evertonian. So when we win the league, we're going to be trying to get him on when we play Everton for some insight.
A question for all. Will we be able to keep Holstein Rushworth if we go up? He's getting a lot of attention from others, as well as Brighton trying to keep hold of him. Well, this is the thing, I think now. If we get promoted, you can guarantee Brighton will be saying, oh, well, we wanted him to be part of our 25-man squad. You're going to have to give us 5 million extra now. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I think it's essential that we get him. I think that's got to be the first player we've got to get when we go up. We've got to secure his services, no matter how much it costs. I think he wants to stay. He's quite happy here, isn't he? From what I make out, and I think he's going to be the number one. So he's going to play here every game. He's not going to go to another club and sit on the bench, if you like. So and I think Doug's got to push the boat out and get him.
Vicky, he likes catching a football, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. I love that, like proper old school goalkeeping, not this silly punching rubbish. And I'm with Ken really. I think unfortunately it's one of those frustrations, isn't it? Someone has a really good loan spell with you, and it puts their price up, doesn't it? Unless you've agreed that in advance. Unfortunately, the way he's played so well all season for us, as put him in the shop window, and it just means it's going to cost more in the summer, isn't it, than it would have done previously. But I think that we have to pay whatever if we can get that deal done. It doesn't matter how much it is. Like a goalkeeper of that quality, would make a massive difference to our Premier League season. And I think, so I think we have to go all out to do all we can to get him over the line. And I think if he comes up with us and we're a Premier League team, I think from a player's perspective, I think we've got as good a chance as any other team. He obviously wants to play at that level, but he knows us, he knows our players, he knows like all that. So I think it then just comes down to whether we can get the deal done with Brighton. I just think we have to go all out for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be 15, 20 million easy, isn't it? I'd say.
Yeah, but he's the future England goalkeeper. He is like one of the best goalkeepers we've seen up here for like years. And you're just thinking, like, if we can get that on a long-term contract, like, you're just going to get that done.
It's not just his catching though, Jack. He's made some brilliant shot stops, hasn't he? He's made some class saves this season.
And assist as well, Claudio. Assist.
Well, yeah, and an assist and a pre-assist as well, if that's what you want to call it, against Birmingham. Yeah, some of the shots he's been saving are just, you wouldn't expect any keeper to make the saves. The one against Ipswich comes to mind. There was one, I think, against Sheffield United where the whistle had gone, but the ball had been deflected and it was looping up. And it was going to go in the top corner, and he jumped back and clawed it out of the goal somehow. I have no idea how he did it. There's so many saves that you watch and just think, how has he done that? And again, like Leicester, when Fatawu came and the absolute rocket in the second half, and he just stood there and caught it. It's like no keeper's catching that normally. They're parrying it or trying to deflect it, and he just went bang, catch.
Yeah, watching that Chelsea keeper today against Arsenal was shocking. Terrible. You know exactly what you mean. Was Miles a CCFC DJ Saturday? No, he was at a different establishment down the road from the arena. Jim Smith says, delayed Bristol match gives a good rest of the players, and also potentially we will then have a game in hand. We can see where we stand then. Also, we'll have 2 home matches as well. So it's going to put us in, yes.
Yeah.
Rushworth's our best keeper since Oggy. He actually catches the ball. There you go. Sausage United. I think most people have recognised that. Realms of Possibility thinks, I have a feeling we're going to go unbeaten for the rest of the season.
Wow.
Wayne Littlewood, the goal at half-time changed the dynamic of the second half. Stoke was happy to sit back, but yet again we passed it along the back line far too much, and the crowd were getting frustrated. There was a couple of big groans at one stage. I have to say that. Sky Blue Bansom, good to see the wizard on the wing. Willie Humphries lead out the legends. Yesterday, a real crowd pleaser in the day. He was the Tat Sakamoto of Jimmy Hill's newly formed Sky Blue, and he was our first, I think, Jimmy Hill's first signing.
Yeah.
Lee Lishman.
Yeah, I was just about to say about the legends. It was some fantastic faces there, weren't there, on the pitch?
And there was. I'll just let do these few more comments. Lee Lishman, I know it's hypothetical, but would the panel take second if it was offered now? Yes or no answer, surely. Ken?
No.
Vicky?
No.
Jack?
Yeah.
No. Oh,
No.
well, I would.
Nope.
I would take it.
I'm convinced we can get the title now. I'm convinced that the title is ours. So I'm not giving away for second now.
I just want to
Never
get
take
promoted.
second when you've got a group. You know, when you can take first.
It would have to be some sort of monumental fall off for us to even come second, let alone miss out on automatic. I don't want to use the B word, but it would be a fall, a real fall from where we are if we didn't win the league.
Neil Jake sent me that thing, didn't he, where you do the red pill, blue pill, and I can't remember what it was now, but I think the blue pill was like take second, or be in the playoffs, and the red pill was promotion automatically or something, and then we had the blip, and he sent me a message saying, "I bet you'd have taken the blue pill now," because obviously I must have gone for the red pill, but I did think, it's looking a bit tricky now. He might put the comment up if he's watching. Alex says, was looking at the bottom of the Premier League, who would we like to stay up, Forest or West Ham? Oh, Forest for me. Don't care about West Ham.
Yeah, Forest for me.
And
too far to travel.
I've been to the Olympic Stadium anyway, when it was there for a proper reason.
Yeah, you need your binoculars if you're going to watch football there.
Yeah, I'm not.
I've been to the Olympic Park, not for football. So if it's a dead heat between those two, I'd rather West Ham come down. I'm sure my mate, who's a West Ham fan, won't like me hearing me saying that. But Forest is closer, and it's a ground I've not been to. So being selfish, I'm happy going there.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, I want Leeds down.
I can have some good banter with my neighbour if they stay up. Assassins Unite, Frank Lampard kept his head whilst everyone was having a meltdown. That knowledge and experience will see us home. This is from Steve, CCFC. Stoke have tall defenders but couldn't handle our balls into the box. Bad defending. Question for the panel from Assassins Unite. Question, yes. Would you rather we play Saturday or have a 12-day rest as is likely?
I think I'd rather have a rest, I think, if we can. If we've got any players that have got little slight knocks or injuries, then we can have a little. It's always good to have a little rest this time of year and go again. What do you think,
Vic?
Yeah, I think the rest. I think I like the fact it then gives us 2 more home games in a row. I think nice little rest. By the time that replay comes around, it's going to be getting more into spring, so nicer for a midweek game anyway, isn't it? So it's not quite so bad as having to replay a game in the middle of December or something. So
yeah.
And with enough points ahead now of second that it's not like someone can overtake us. It's not going to change the league position, is it? That one week, and actually then we just sort of see where we are. So yeah, all round I think a break will do us good.
I'm going to slightly disagree. If assuming Bristol win, which I do think will happen, it means we play Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Friday, Monday. So that's 6 games in 20 days, something like that, which is a lot to play. Now, when we had our Christmas period, yes, there was illness in the camp, but that was where we started our blip, if that's what you want to call it, was playing too many games in a short period of time. We've got a bigger squad now. We've got players that aren't injured going into the run, whereas before we had players injured going into that run, and Hadji, who'd only just come back from injury and was not firing. So we're in a completely different position to where we would have been at Christmas, but 6 games in 20-odd days is still a lot of games to play, and I don't think there will be some players in our squad that will cope with that. I feel like we will come down with some injuries, and if we're not going to pick up results, I think we will. I think we'll pick up the results regardless, but if we're not picking up results well enough to keep ahead of second and everyone else, it could be a little bit of squeaky bum time, given the fact that the games after that would be a trip to Blackburn, who are fighting a little bit for their life, and home to Wrexham, who might be pushing for the top 6. They're not the easiest last 4 games. So I think we want to be as fresh as possible going into the next 6.
Me, if we're playing at home, I'd like to have played it. The fact it's away, I'm not too fussed.
And that's the only thing that I'm going to agree with. I think had it been at home, I'd say, yeah, let's play it. But
I think it's good to have that next game be another home match, because Bristol City could be a bit tricky. They're a hit and miss team, and I don't want them to be hitting when we want them to be missing. But then we've got the wonderful Preston North End to play, which have always been a problem for this club. But hopefully we can do them over next when they turn up in about 10 days' time, whenever it is, 12 days' time. Ralph says, exactly, Vicky. I would also have preferred Eccles because he has been really good for quite a while this season, and being a fan, he gives extra effort. Mark Rainbow says the 4 subs that came on in the second half had 34 goal contributions between them. I doubt we ever had that sort of quality coming off the bench before. Good shout, Mick Kelly. Stoke using the unofficial timeout by a 1 times outfield player and times 2 by the keeper. I wonder if the keeper had to leave the field for half a minute, it might stop it.
Imagine that.
Well, FIFA are looking into it, aren't they? Because there's that video going around where they're going to trial something during the World Cup.
Not take the keeper.
I think they'll prevent players leaving the pitch if the keeper sits down. They'll just stop doing it, won't they?
Yeah.
Um,
The Stoke one wasn't even very subtle yesterday. He wasn't even very subtle about it. It was so obvious.
Well, somebody said to me when the guy went down with cramp, since when have you had to have 2 trainers coming on, physios, for somebody with cramp?
I didn't know if that was the referee because he was having a bit of a go. And then I don't know if he said, so I don't know whether he thought, I'm going to get the trainers on because then you're going to have to go off and I'll teach you a lesson. Because they were having a chat about it and he was like, I don't know whether the ref was saying, like, what's this all about, a bit of cramp. And then all of a sudden he called the trainers on, and I don't know whether it was because he was thinking he was having enough of it as well.
Yeah, possibly. Did everyone notice Eccles and Thomas looked emotional yesterday? Looked like they can feel that what the win meant yesterday. Yeah, they can see the pound signs now, can't they? Vicky talking sense as usual, says Paula Collins. Good to see the
Paula.
female fraternity sticking together there, Vicky. Finn says, if and when we get autos, which team is likely to get autos too? Good question. Who do you think? Because now it's twitchy bum time because of tomorrow's fixture, which I think most of us will be watching.
Yeah.
And I don't, to be honest, a draw would be I'll be happy with the draw there because it's going to mess up Birmingham a bit as well, isn't it? So I want a draw tomorrow. And I do hope Middlesbrough, if I'm honest, I would like to, we've said it before, us, Middlesbrough, and any other club who hasn't had parachute payments in the last 5 seasons, say, maybe Millwall for me.
Would that be the first time 3 clubs then had gone up without the parachute payments?
It would be for a while, I thought.
Because it's normally at least one, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't think the last time that there would have been at least one. Generally, there's always at least one club, isn't there?
So Middlesbrough and Millwall for me to go up with us.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. I'd agree with that Middlesbrough Millwall as well. Sorry.
I definitely agree with Middlesbrough for a couple of reasons. One, I want my guaranteed 6 points next season because that will go a long way to helping us reach the Champions League positions.
Yeah.
And secondly, it would be absolutely hilarious if Middlesbrough go up and Rob Edwards' Wolverhampton Wanderers get relegated.
Oh, good shout. Good shout, Jack.
And also, with no disrespect to Mark Robbins, seeing Adi Vivash get promoted because we know he's a tactician and he did very, very well for our club, that would be very nice as well.
Yeah.
So did Mark there. Mark did well as well.
Yeah, but he's not in the conversation. With no disrespect to Stoke, they're not in the conversation. So had Stoke have been up there, I'd say, yeah, absolutely. That would be quite nice. But as for Millwall, I don't like going to South London on the coach. It just takes forever. I don't really know.
That's the only down thing with Millwall.
So who else then? Who else then with Middlesbrough?
Well, I agree. It'd be nice for a non-parachute payment team to come up. And I don't want Wrexham to come up because they get so much coverage anyway. It's like, just go away.
Yeah,
Millwall
keep them down there for
would be nice. Hull coming up would be nice. Do you know what? Derby coming up would be a nice local game for us next season. I don't mind Watford. I don't mind Bristol.
And John Eustace, former COD player, taking them up. So that's that'd be nice. So just not a parachute team / Wrexham for me.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So interesting. Mark Rainbow says, what was that strange woman doing during the Rodoni interview? We're not sure.
I didn't realise you could hear me on the video, but you can hear.
Yeah. Halfway through, you're just like, who's that woman? What's she doing there?
I was talking to the guy next to me who was also filming, and he was like, going, who's that? I said, yeah, why don't you sit down?
No self-awareness at all there. Every bench had a sub-keeper. I think they should be forced to bring him on if the keeper goes down, only for the duration they're injured. That will stop the tactical timeout. Rich T, blocking everyone else's view by the looks of it. Oh, about what the woman was doing. Nathan Brain says, hi all, I think it was a great result. If we can get Rushworth and Onyeka on a permanent, I think that will be Assassin's United. As a fan, we all have opinions. Only one man has the final decision. He's clearly getting the most of it right now, but the options he has now is fantastic. He said after the match, Sims, Asante, etc. will start games.
He did, yeah. He said we would probably need them as a next.
Sorry, Ken. It's not. It's the fact we're winning games again is the fact we've got everybody back again. It's a bit like when we had the runs before. We had a strong squad, and I've said it a few times now. When we've struggled is when we had all the suspensions and injuries, which it happens to most teams. You rarely get a good run when you've got half a squad.
Yeah.
It's how you manage it, and you try and pick up as many points as you can. And I don't think with this squad now we'd have lost those games at Norwich and QPR, because out of all the games this season, for me, the only 2 games have been really disappointed, because they are 6 points we should have picked up really once we took the lead, and we'd be properly flying now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we can look back at some of the silly games that we've dropped points and should have had clear decisions go in our favour, which never went. Then we would be well ahead, wouldn't we? In fact, I'd say we'd be over the hill and far, far away.
Philip Medcraft says she had spilt a drink and was wiping a hand on the boy's head. Assassins Unite, Cloud, you'll be happy even the second tier predicting promotion for the Sky Blues. Oh no. Yeah, but they're only doing it now because they're trying to jinx it. You know what they're like. There were 2 ex-players from a Premier League London club in the lounge yesterday taking a look at SA and De Silva.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Who were they then?
Interesting. Colin Bramfield said, listen to the Stoke commentary. He said, looking at our bench, we've got 3 players that scored 27 goals between them. It is crazy. Frank Wood says, I agree with Claudio. I do not trust Bobby on the ball. He can give a great pass 1 minute and a silly one the next. Rob Edwards was sniffing around CBS yesterday, obviously checking some of our players out. He's probably checking who won't be playing against next season.
He's actually checking out Stoke, ready for a local derby next season.
Assassins Unite says, I agree, Claudio. Thomas can't pass, but he can defend. Martin King says, let's just assume it was page 3 and not look it up. Enjoy the mystery. Oh dear. What have you started, Vicky?
It was you.
Nathan Bryan. Hi all, I think it was a great result. It would be great to get Rushworth and Yake on a permanent and a striker, and we will have a Premiership ready squad. What do you think? We need more. Watching some of the teams play,
yeah,
it depends what we want out of it. If we to survive, look at Sunderland. We were saying earlier they got all those players in. They started brilliantly. They got a great home record this season, but they're now cemented in the bottom half of the table now. So I don't know what you guys think. What we need, how much?
I'm sure Frank will have that plan in place. He'll have that plan looking ahead. What sort of players he need to bring in for next year? And there's going to be a few. Obviously, we're going to have to clear out a few, unfortunately. But there's only certain players that can play the next level up, isn't there? You're going to a higher level, so there's only certain players that can do that. A lot of players reach their max, if you like, maximum if they get to the Championship and they can't play any higher. This is unfortunate. That's one of them things. Happens to a lot of clubs.
Mark Rainbow says probably a bit of AOB. There were 12 new managers hired last summer. 7 have lost their jobs already, plus Blackburn, who hired their manager this time last season. Dartfart says brown is the colour of the 40s and 50s. That old. There was definitely brown suits in the 70s. A bit of brown corduroy.
Did you have a corduroy suit, Claudio?
You know, I had corduroy trousers. They used to squeak when you used to walk.
I'm sure you used to have a brown suit and tie.
I've got a pink one.
Pink?
I've got a pink. Only the jacket fits now. I did have a pink suit. It was salmon pink. Don't ask. It was the 80s and it was acceptable.
That's a song, isn't it? Acceptable in the 80s.
It was. Martin says, I remember when shirt and tie and suit was a requirement in retail sales job. Truly, I see.
Yeah.
Keith Dennis says, good point. How long ago is it since we scored from a corner? We were sat in the stands joking that we'll never score from this before each corner was taken. Surely we're missing a trick.
Well, it's normally Bobby Thomas that gets on the end of it from a corner, isn't it? I think he was the last one,
I'm
wasn't
just trying to look at it now. Trying to remember the goals.
he? I'm sure Bobby Thomas was one of the last ones from a corner. From what I remember. I can't remember who it was against.
Mason Clark against Bristol City. It wasn't directly from a corner, it was following a corner. Ellis Sims against Charlton Athletic, the second goal just before half-time at home to Charlton Athletic on the 29th of November. There you go.
There you go. So they're not working.
3 months.
Pagagon, you must live in a posh area. Around where I live, they wear pajamas out to shopping trips. Mark Robbins says, forget brown suits. I want to know if there are any sheds for sale in one of Claudio's papers from the 60s. George Andrew says, Claudio, did that cough pod get the scoop with Kieran? Not really, because Kieran is accessible to everybody. He's a great guy. And it's just the fact that I didn't reply to the email because I was doing something else. But he replied virtually instantly and I didn't see it. But anyway, we'll get him on and we'll have a good chat.
For a man who's glued to his phone, Claudio, I'm surprised you missed that.
I know. But we'll chat about other stuff as well. So it'd be more than just talking about finances and whatnot. It'd be talking about brown suits. Jimmy 1966 says, I thought Grimes and Rodoni flourished with Onyeka in midfield. He is making such a difference. Much more positive play. I read a few weeks ago, says Kyle O'Connor, that if we go up, Frank wants Ben Chilwell. We can do better than Ben Chilwell.
Yeah.
James Hollyoake is worth 15 million any day. I think he is as well. I bet Doug King is already having that conversation with Brighton and Rushworth, says Mark Raber. They've lined up players already. That's how it happens. Yeah. Mick Kelly says, Bobby MacDonald, a great servant to the club, fantastic left back in his day. Talking about favourite players. Yeah, I love Bobby Mac. He is in my all-time 11 starting lineup.
Was he there? Was he at the Legends Day yesterday? Because I didn't see him.
No, I don't know if he's been to one, you know.
I don't know.
So I don't know if he has. Lee Lishman says, a question for the panel. We didn't get Hughes early on in the season. If we go up, is there any championship players from other teams he would take up with us?
Oh.
I would only want to take players that are either absolutely dominating in the championship or have Premier League experience. I wouldn't want to take a punt on someone just because they're good enough at this level. It doesn't mean they're going to be good enough at the next level up. Take Matty Grimes, for example, with no disrespect. We all agree, or most fans in the championship can agree, that he's been one of the championship's best players over the last 5 years. Not a single Premier League club has sniffed around him. Ben Sheaf, for example, when he was at the top of his game, there weren't Premier League teams coming in for him, were they? Maybe Luton Town, but you know they just pipped us to the post in the Premier League. That was it.
Yeah, I think the problem is that we get a bit overexcited about our own players, and then what happens is when the transfer window opens, we get somebody start a rumour saying, "Oh, I don't know, Fulham, who are in the Premier League now, are after so and so," and then it starts rolling this rumour when there's probably nothing in it at all whatsoever. You know, we just and as we know from all these transfer windows, we've not lost anybody really of any note, have we?
No, that's true. Hamer. So, I was just about to say about Hamer. Would you take Hamer back if you went up?
No.
Because he's a Premiership player, isn't he, Hamer?
Is he?
I think he is.
Well, he's overweight.
I think he's too good for the Championship.
I agree, Ken, but for 18 months, there's no one's gone in for him. They haven't. Injury record. I think he'd fail a medical. Personally, there might be other issues we don't know. Maybe I don't know, but
And to be fair as well, his one season in the Premier League was for a terrible Sheffield United team, wasn't it? It's not like he's got any sort of decent experience up there. I think the trouble is, there's quite a few players that, I mean, we've got some that are like probably just slightly above Championship quality, but then being Premiership quality is a different ball game, isn't it? That's that sort of bit in between. So Hamer probably is too good for the Championship, but doesn't mean that he's good enough for the Premier League. It's that sort of weird gap in between the two, and I think unfortunately, I mean, that was the thing, wasn't it? Like, people talked about Hamer going to the Premier League, they talked about Callum O'Hare going to the Premier League, and Sheffield United's got both of them, and they're both still there. No other teams of any note have come in for them, and I think it just shows that little gap between the players that are good at this level and what the Premiership teams actually do want.
So I regard the Championship as possibly the 5th hardest league in Europe. So maybe not good enough for the Premier League, but maybe the Dutch league or the French league, because it wouldn't surprise me he goes back to Holland.
Yeah,
because we keep forgetting, like a lot of fans do, that these are foreign players. This isn't their home country, and some of them eventually, a bit like we're talking with Josh Sargent, probably wanted to go back over the Atlantic and go somewhere near the US and play over there. It's not necessarily it probably just doesn't want to stick around or go back home. For all we know, it's
he might bring in a few foreign players himself. Lampard, there might be a few overseas ones that he's looking at that we don't know about.
Exactly.
It's generally better value for money, isn't it? I think it's, if we look at how much we spent on players like Hamer, Sakamoto, like we've done well at this level. We've spent much less money than other teams on players that are better because we've looked abroad. I think do some good scouting work there, and that will hopefully help us.
So here's the thing: so we get promoted, and we do a Crystal Palace, and we sign a player similar to SA for 12 million. How does our fan base react? Because straight away I can guarantee more than half we say, what we spent that kind of money on him for.
Well, that's the going rate.
It's going to be interesting when if we start buying players for a bit of money, the reaction from the fan base.
It's going to be a problem because we saw that to a certain degree. Yeah. Well, we saw that to a certain degree, didn't we, when we sold Hamer and Victor, that we then spent a bit more on players, and some struggled to really understand the concept of like what we'd actually got for that money, because it wasn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. Like when you buy White for like 7 million for striker is still not a lot of money, is it? And but like we're used to that, so it's definitely going to be a culture shock, and I think there's going to be a number of fans that are going to struggle with that concept about what we're spending money on and what we can afford and what we're getting for that money.
Well, that's the problem Luton had when they beat us in that semi-final and went into the Premier League. They didn't invest with hardly anything, did they? They didn't spend any money at all. They sort of kept it all to build this new ground they're supposed to be building, and that's unfortunately why they come straight back down.
Well, yeah, they went down the loan route and it didn't work, did it? Word from Brighton is Verbruggen is off to Man City and Rushworth becomes number 1 at the Amex. Say ain't so, 15 million, future England keeper. Neil Jake says, I'm watching, Claudio, but busy trying to find dawn in the sun. Dear, oh dear. It's all your fault, Vicky. Why do other clubs, especially the fans, seem to hate Super Frankie Lamps? Only other manager gets real grief is Wilder from the Blades. It's weird, Craig. I don't understand it myself. It's somebody who's really admired as a player. I don't know. No idea.
It's odd one, that.
It is odd. Vince Everett, all you doubters and non-believers surely now believe the mighty Coventry City, say it with reverence and pride, will be champions and win the famous old trophy. I don't care who comes second. That's kind of what Miles was saying. He wants that trophy in the cabinet, doesn't he? We want Premier League footy, that money. So if we go back down, we can challenge to win the championship the following season. So we would take second now. It's worth 200 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
B. Lishman says, definitely Forest to stay up over West Ham. Cov don't like playing teams in claret and blue.
No, that's true.
When is the next international break, says Mark Rainbow?
It's the end of March, isn't it? Like the 24th or something. End of
It's
March.
only a few weeks. 28th of March, Saturday. There won't be a game.
Liam was. Bristol City pitch isn't playing well at the moment. A delay could be helpful to us. And I've noticed Swansea, Bristol City, and Hull City's pitches look terrible because of the rugby already. They've only just started. Hull City's pitch is just covered in lime green lines everywhere. I don't know how you could even referee the game, to be honest. It must be so confusing. Right. I wonder why they don't ever get David Icke at CBS for Legends Day, as are many other legends from the panel feel have been missing that would like to see. Right, how it works is they invite, they've probably invited everybody who's actually living if they would like to become part of the Legends crowd, and it's whether or not they accept it or not. Some people do, and some people don't. They've tried tirelessly to get 2 or 3 really big ones, but they're just not interested for whatever reason. One of those isn't Craig Bellamy.
One of them's Dion Dublin, isn't it? Is it Dion Dublin, one of them?
Can we get Yakubu?
Yeah. Assassin Night, because we're fans, which is short for fanatic, we will always worry. But as they say, follow the money. The bookies have us as massive favourites. It's funny, isn't it? The saying is that the bookies are rarely wrong, but it is when it comes to your team, though. You think you don't believe it, do you?
No.
Paul Collins says, but Jack, 6 games in 20 days is what we'll be playing in the Champions League in 18 months.
Oh, yeah, I like it, Paul. I like it.
I think we'll have a couple of better players than Jamie Allen and Joel Matabodier and Jake Bidwell.
That's my next dream. My next dream is European football. That's what I want to see. That's the dream.
We all want to go on an away day to a European team, don't we? That's what
Go to Prague. I loved it in Prague. Go back to Prague.
Yeah, now I haven't got a mortgage. I can definitely do that now. Anyway.
Prawn sandwiches in Madrid for Claudio.
Prawn sandwiches in Prague. No, a bit of schnitzel in Prague. You get schnitzel in Prague, can't you? Benjamin Bloom says 87 points he reckons gets the title. I mean, I thought 88 was I said that a few weeks ago. I reckon 88 would probably get us promoted. It might, yeah. I don't think it's going to be a massive points haul to, I keep saying the word pints instead of points for some reason.
Yes, because you had too many pints this afternoon. That's
You're drunk. Get him off. Get him off.
Only way to stop time wasting is to have a clock that stops like in US sports. What do you think, guys? Personally, I don't want it because I want to avoid being anything like the USA in the way they do their games. Because once you do that, I've noticed with American football now, I mean, I used to watch it regular, and I've noticed, and I spoke to Jonah about this, how the timeouts seem to be a lot longer than they used to be, even though they're only to be a couple of minutes. And I can see that happening in this country if you start doing stuff like that, or FIFA bringing it in. I don't know what you guys think.
They'd just find room for adverts, wouldn't they, if you did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that at all. No, I'd just keep it to the referee's whistle, I think, and let him decide on the time.
It's like you said, Claudia, you've seen them getting longer. It's because there's no encouragement to be quicker, then, is there? Because they just know eventually it'll get added on. So they use it for adverts and rubbish rather than just actually getting on. It was like yesterday, stop, start. It's like, are we ever going to get out of this ground? Like, sometimes you're there all day, do you? You want your 90 minutes within relatively 90 minutes.
I just thought it was great that he put 7 minutes up because the funny thing about that yesterday was that there's lots of shenanigans in that 7 minutes of injury time, which actually led to us probably getting a bit more. And I think they made a double substitution during injury time as well, didn't they? It was bizarre.
He had a good fourth official yesterday. The fourth official was policing the subs coming on and off much better and noting down times for how long they were taking. And I think that's why we got quite a decent time at the end, because the fourth official was much more involved than some of them yesterday, and I think he was really helping the referee, and he got involved in a lot of that. You could see him from where we are, and but that's what you want. It serves them right, doesn't it? If they want a time waste and then we score in that time, more for them.
Finn says, no, guys, who do we think will go up? Right, okay then. So we go up. I'll tell you now. I think it'll be Ipswich.
Yeah,
Second place.
Borough and Ipswich.
Yeah, I think so.
Pick one. You can't pick two. Who do you think will go up?
Oh,
with us?
automatic.
Yeah.
Borough.
Yeah, I think Borough will get automatic.
Yeah, I think Borough as it is at the moment.
I think Ipswich are going to do it.
No, I think they've left.
And then I think Ipswich will blow the playoffs. I think Ipswich will blow the playoffs, and it'll be some other team.
I think they've left it too late, Claudia.
All right.
Oh.
Very, very aggressive there. Passive aggressive, Ken. Back off.
Claudia, you're drunk. You're drunk. Don't worry. We've got Will King watching. Evening, Will. Thanks for joining again.
Great show, guys. I'm only doing it because I know you're watching. Come on, Claudia, you're having the best season ever. Stop hating on the Brummies. I'm not hating you.
No, I'll be supporting the Brummies on Monday night.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's not worth winning unless you suffer slightly. BCFC. That's the way it is. We've learned to do that now. Balarangan. Ooh, I think I said that right. Agree with Claudio. Would like Borough and Millwall join us in the Prem. Would like Wrexham and Ipswich meet in the playoff semis. That would be interesting. There's interest. Somebody's put here. What do you think about this? I think it wouldn't. If we win the league, I don't think it would take the shine off our achievement. This is if Wrexham go up, it would take the shine off our achievement because we'd at least we'd have 2 weeks of celebrating before they even get anywhere near the playoff final. So it'd be done and dusted. I wouldn't really. Well, I'm going on holiday. I'm not going to bother watching it, so I'm not bothered.
I think the thing is as well, like the media might be more focused on Wrexham, but we don't care. Like we only care. Who cares what like the BBC or the Sun or I don't know Sky what's on the mind now? Sky have got to say about it. We got promoted and we're happy, aren't we? Like it doesn't matter if they're more focused on Wrexham.
Sorry, I completely agree with you, but this comment just got me going.
Mark Nicklin says, Cloud, you know why Ken is aggressive. It's Sunday. The chip is not open.
No, I'm not aggressive. I'm just putting my point across. That's all. How about this one? Claudia's been on a bender.
Been on the bender.
We could make a song up about that, couldn't we?
I'll just hold my scarf up, actually. So it's 50 years. And,
yeah, I seen this scarf today, and I thought it was very unusual because turn it round, Claudia, and show everybody.
So 50 years of Admiral, and they brought this out 50 years ago when I had it.
It's the only one left in the UK. This scarf.
No, I think other people may have one. All the players on the back. Look at that.
You don't get them like that, do you?
Yeah, and we were all on a podcast earlier, weren't we? With which hopefully you'll see the little vignettes at some point.
Yes, we had a nice little well, it's like a TV interview, wasn't it? Sort of studio. It was nice.
What was interesting was we all went there with different experiences, but how similar some of the answers were to some of the questions that we didn't know any of us were going to answer.
Yeah, because we didn't know what anybody else was going to say until they actually got interviewed. Yeah,
but yeah, so I thought it was quite good. All right, let's get back to the comments. Lee Lishman says,
for like half an hour straight now.
any ideas or heard when Cov might wear the new brown kit? So I asked Rob Gurney on Friday. I said, "Oh, we're wearing it tomorrow," and he says, "No, we've no idea."
I reckon it'll be the last home game of the season. Wrexham.
Right, I'll just read the Nick from Birmingham, and I'll hand back to you, Ken.
Yeah.
He says, can we agree that the days when we were bringing on the likes of Jamie Allen had to come to an end if we're serious about promotion? Well, he's been nowhere near the squad, has he, the last few games? So I think you've answered your question, you've seen it. And Finn says, so it's not page 3 then we'll stop looking then. It's a double spread page, isn't it, Vicky?
Double spread.
The story is, should we tell the story? You tell the story. You were there.
Before I get into massive trouble with Dawn and she's not talking to me. So it's back in 2001. We're at Villa Park. obviously on that sad day when we get relegated, me and her were there. We sort of separate to have like a moment because we we're all upset, and the Sun photographer manages to capture her looking all upset, and it was on the back of the Sun saying about obviously Coventry City Bank crying at the relegation. And I took a photo of that years ago, so we've got it like floating around on social media, and we'll show you all next week. But don't get excited because it's not a page, but it's just the back of the Sun Sports section photo from Villa Park back in the day.
So there you are. Not page 3.
No, all right, there is a nice picture.
I must admit, when Vicky said I've got a photo of sorry, I was just reading something else, and I've got a photo of showing you of somebody in the sun. I'm thinking, oh, it's not page 3. I'm not interested. No, I'm only joking. Debbie Glenn says Claudia had a purple velvet jacket with cravat. Anthony Pettifer used to have to wear a tie to get into the city centre club. Used to keep one in the pocket ready for when the doorman said, "Where's your tie?" Mm-hmm. Ralph Wiggins. My first suit in the 50s was a brown one, and I didn't like it, and I didn't like the brown kit either.
Oh, fair comment.
Sky Blue Bantam says, so good to see the so-called dark arts biting Stoke on the bum. Play the game as it should be played. Although we did do it.
One more comment and go back to Ken.
Oh, yeah. This is it then. This is the last one. Sorry. Pink suit in the 80s, Claudia. Did you think it was Don Johnson from the TV show Miami Vice?
I'll tell you what, all this talk about suits, when we win the league, can we all wear suits and do an episode?
I think we should.
I think the comment on that we'd all have to wear suits and ties next week. Please. Smart address.
Right, back to you, Ken.
Okay, right. Let's just go through a few bits and bobs that we need to catch up on. Darren Huckabee, yes, he was there yesterday, Claudia, wasn't he, as well? At the Legends Day.
Yeah.
He will be live here on Sky Blue Fans TV. It'll be your show. You get your questions in to us, and we will ask the questions to Darren. And that's on Thursday, 26th of March, and he'll be live here on Sky Blue Fans TV. Now, he's already been on the podcast, hasn't he, Claudia?
Yes.
How was it?
Very good. And it's very honest, open, had great belief in his ability without being arrogant. He just, he's a nice guy. He really is a nice guy.
Yeah. Okay, well, we look forward to seeing that. And Vicky, got any more details on?
So they've set that up now. So next weekend, they're running from. So they're not going to run to the CBS anymore because there's obviously not a match on. So the original plan was to run to the CBS. They're now going to run to the Walsgrave pub in Walsgrave, Coventry, which is where the signed shirt is. So they set off on the Friday, do sort of the equivalent of a marathon each day, taking them from South London up to the Walsgrave. They arrive at the Walsgrave around about 6 o'clock on Monday evening, just waiting for final details on that. So if anyone wants to go along and see, they're going to draw the raffle for the signed shirt once the two lads get there. So that's all next weekend, and obviously the Monday for them arriving and the raffle being drawn.
Oh, that'd be good. Look forward to that. Jack, you have some statistics for us, don't you?
Yes. Well, firstly, before I come on to mine, we had a message from Sky Blue J earlier on today. He's done a bit of a graphic on who we've got to play and where they are in the table. So I'll get rid of the banner at the bottom because we're missing Sheffield Wednesday, or Watford even, sorry. So these are the teams we've got to play for the rest of the season. Obviously, the first column is their current league position. And then the column on the right is where they are in the form table based on whether they are at home or away from home at coming to the CBS. Now, the yellow colour is top half, and the obviously orange and red and dark red are bottom half of the table in the form. So looking at that, there's no one that we play that are brilliant at what they're doing. Obviously, Hull are 5th, but at home, they're 10th in the form table. Wrexham are obviously 6th and 6th, which isn't bad. Watford are 6th at home. So it's not bad, but it's not like we're playing anyone fantastic. I mean, we know that just from looking at the current league position, but seeing where they are actually in the form table might give a bit more of an indication as to how we think we might do against them. For example, I don't see Ashton Gate as a hard place to go necessarily, but I don't think we've won there aside from the Carabao Cup in about 3 or 4 attempts. Nothing long is what I'm saying, but I don't think we've won there for a couple of years. But actually, they're 15th in the form table. So that suggests that they're not going to be a force to be reckoned with. And especially if we're on this very good run and form we're in, we shouldn't be fearful of going there. However, on the flip side of that, Swansea were down in 16th in the table. They're actually trending 5th at home. So they're actually a pretty decent side at home, but really, really poor away. Obviously, we won at Swansea last year. You remember that Brandon Thomas-Asante wonder goal from 45 or so yards. So it's just a helpful graphic to see where we think we're gonna be.
Yeah, well, if you just leave that up a minute, then Jack. How many of them games, then Claudio, for example, would you say we can pick up maximum points from?
Oh, 8.
8.
Yeah.
Which will be more than enough, wouldn't it? I think.
I fancy us winning all our home games.
Yeah.
For a start.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see. I can't see why we wouldn't. To be honest.
Who do you think we'll struggle against?
I mean, they won't be easy. We'll probably struggle to beat Sheffield Wednesday, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Pompey at home, probably.
Yeah, Bristol, Swansea, Hull. The away games, apart from I think Blackburn and maybe Watford, because you don't know what you're going to get from Watford.
Yeah.
Blackburn and Watford, I would fancy us winning there. Actually, the others will be tricky games.
Yeah. Okay, so you think 8? Vicky, how many would you say?
Yeah, I reckon about 8 as well. I think I'm with Claudia. I reckon we win all our home games now. I think, I mean, the away games are interesting, aren't they? Because we've got, like, it's always difficult to sort of call it games like Bristol City or Swansea, but the one advantage is that they do like to sort of play football at home. So I think that actually suits us. And so in some good form, we could probably go there and get some results. But I think at least two away wins out of those. Yeah.
Well, if you get 8, I think that would be more than enough to get the title. Jack, how many would you say?
I think I'm going 9. I think we beat Watford last game of the season when we've already won the league and they've got nothing to play for. So I'm going to go 9 on that basis. I think the 2 we win away are Blackburn and Bristol. I think I'd snap your hand off for a point at both Swansea and Hull. So, yeah.
I think we could do that. I genuinely believe we could go the rest of the season and defeat it. I think we could go on a proper decent win again and just finish the season drawing or winning.
Really, that stick out and say, "Oh, we're going to struggle against them." I don't think. I think they're all beatable, aren't they? When you look at them. If we
play to our best, how we know we can play, there's not a team there that we're not good enough to be on our day. I don't think. So I think it's down to us. But if we play to our best between now and the end of the season, we can get something out of all of those games.
Yeah. I'm going to go 10.
Ooh. So who are we not beating then, Ken? If you're saying 10, who are we not beating?
I think we might struggle.
Don't say Sheffield Wednesday.
No, I'm not going to say. Home ones I don't have a problem with. I think we might struggle to get maximum points at Hull away. And we might struggle to get maximum points at Swansea away.
You just said we win 10, but then you've said we drop points in 2, so that's only 9 wins.
All right. So I say, how many's on there? 10, 12, 11. So, well, yeah, I mean, okay. All right, then. Okay, I'll say we will get maximum points at Swansea then. Hull is going to be the one I think we'll struggle with.
Ooh, Easter Monday. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just got a funny feeling Hull. It just, I don't know. But I might be wrong, you know. But if we do get what we all say, then we're going to be champions, aren't we? The amount of points we collect. So
Absolutely.
it's going to be great. So why not? Okay.
Right, I did a graphic a couple of months back now. I don't know whether it was January or December, but I've updated it with this season's goal tallies as currently. So the left is this season, the right is last season, and these are the comparative players. So if you look at De Silva and upwards, I'm just comparing the same player between the two seasons. Hadji, Sims, BTA, Mason Clark, Torp are all outperforming last season by a good margin. The yellow is the same between this and last season. Sakamoto was the only one that's just about pulling up a little bit behind last season so far. But obviously he's been in and out the team recently with SA and even BTA earlier in the season playing out on the right-hand side. Rudy, I'm going to discount Rudy because obviously he's had his shoulder injury and had a really, really poor run up until turn of the year. Let's say in the last 11 games, he's actually got 7 goal contributions out of his 11 that he's had all season. So the return to form is obvious, and I think he'll kick on. I don't think he'll quite hit the numbers he did last year, but he'll kick on. Josh Eccles, 6 goal contributions, same as last season. Bobby, less goals but more assists. I have double-checked the 6 assists. I think BBC have only credited him with 4, but I'm giving him 6 based on the 2 that weren't credited. One was shot at the keeper. Keeper parried it onto Sims's head. And the other one was headed off the bar onto Sims's head. So I'm crediting him with those 2 as assists. Liam Kitchen, 2 goals. Last year was only 1 assist. Van Avac, way more assists. Obviously no goals yet. And Grimes, we don't expect goals or assists really from him, but it's less, but that's not a concern. De Silva, obviously, with his assist yesterday, he's improved on last season, which is fantastic. So, with the exception of Jack Radoni, who's had a reasonable... I mean, he's played half the amount of games, if you look. Exactly half the amount of games. So, if he doubled his goal tally, he'd be on the same goals and almost the same assists as last season. So, in actual fact, if he hadn't have got this injury and would have kept at a reasonable pace, he'd still hit the numbers he hit last season, which just goes to show he's not had a poor season. And if he's in good form like he is and carries that through, why can't he get similar to last season? So yeah, it's just a comparative chart to show you how we're comparing individually, compared from this season to last. So what do you guys make of this? Anyone stick out for you, Ken?
Probably had you right, really. I'd say.
What about you, Claudio? Who's the most notable one on that list?
Sims.
Yeah, I was going to say Sims.
And Thomas Asante.
I'm surprised when I look there. You don't realise sometimes until you see information like this that the assists and the stuff.
Apart from Radoni being injured, the front forward-thinking players have all added to their tally, haven't they? Which is why we scored so many goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could say virtually the whole, 6 or 7 players who play up front, say, have improved massively. Which is why we're top.
Sims and Asante are definitely having far superior season to last season, aren't they? From a goal contribution perspective, at least.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've compared Romain Esse to Norman Bissett just because Bissett with us last year, Esse's with us this year. Esse's only he scored 2 and 2, didn't he? Against Millwall and Norwich. And Bissett obviously took forever to get his 2 goals and was largely ineffective last season. So yeah, it's just a good comparison basically to this season to last.
Yeah. Interesting. Any more stats? Is that about it?
That's about it for me this week.
Tell us about our own little competition between us.
Yes. So none of us got the score right for this game. I'm just going to get my other spreadsheet up. 1 second. I'm still top with 11 games to go. So I'm rather like Coventry. Ken's a bit of the Ipswich hot on my heels coming at me.
Yes, I don't give up.
Claudio look to be playoff contenders and Miles is relegated. But yeah, no one got 2-1. So obviously Miles is in his rot of predicting a 3-2 loss every week. Ken went 3-0, Claudio went 2-0, Vicky went 2-0. So they both got an extra point because they got the goals correct. And Ken and I just get the points for the win. But that's as it stands. And don't forget our very accurate predictions from pre-season. Miles has us outside the top 6.
Yes.
And then there's some. The more I look at this, how awful were some of our guesses? I mean, I've got Leicester finishing second. They might finish second bottom at this rate. Although we've all got Leicester in and around the conversation.
And I've got the Sky Blues in the highest position, third. Nobody else has got anything third or above.
I know I've not got Middlesbrough in the conversation, and I've got Hull in the bottom 3. I mean,
yeah, mental, isn't it? Really, I think most of us had. Well, we all had Sheffield Wednesday, didn't we? Yeah, we all had Sheffield Wednesday.
Vicky, if you'd have put Blackburn and Hull the opposite way around, that actually wouldn't be an outrageous shout, you know.
And we all had Ipswich to win the league, obviously, and they've found a little bit short, but they are coming strong again, aren't they? So, you know, I don't think they'll win it, but obviously I think they've got a good chance of going up.
Claudio, talk to me. What compelled you to put Ruben Sayers, Sheffield United, in second position?
Well, because they lost the playoff the year before and they got nearly 100 points. So no one knew they were going to lose. Well, to be honest, had they not lost 8 out of the first 9, they would be in the top 3 probably now with the points they've collected since then. So it wasn't a bad shout. I just think it just shows what happens if you don't spend your money right, or there's a bit of upheaval in the dressing room, perhaps. The ones that surprised me are Charlton, because they're 7 points clear, aren't they? Of Leicester, who were 22nd. Because I've got Charlton to go straight back down with Oxford and Sheffield Wednesday. So they're the ones that surprised me, actually.
Well, they did a bit of a slender, didn't they? They started well and picked up some early points, and it's how it helps, isn't it? As the season gets on, it gets tougher. If you get some nice early points, it does help, and they did that. Because there was one stage when they were like, I think they dropped points in the last minute of a game, but if they'd have won it, they could have got to third or something. They were doing really well early in the season, weren't they?
Yeah, it's well, we know it's a tough division, and to be where we are it's incredible, and I still don't understand why some fans don't seem to be happy. It's just, you know, you're allowed to be happy. There's a lot of we're top of the league, but that second half, you know, who cares? We won the game 2-1.
Yeah, points in the back. That's what we look at now.
Vince says he likes this player called Og. He's doubled his goal tally from last season. That's true, yes.
It's quite a popular player, he is.
Will King of Shave says, nice banter this evening, confident, quietly positive, not worrying about X, Y, Z, refreshing. It certainly is, isn't it?
If you'd have tuned in a bit earlier, Will, we were talking about how our Champions League run's going to go in 18 months' time.
Yes. Right. Okay.
Is that all your comments, Claudia?
Well, there's actually loads, but I don't know if you've got something else to say first.
No, I was going to let you carry on and get rid of some of the comments. And then
get rid of some of the comments.
Well, yeah, they're piling up. That's what I've seen. That's fine.
We haven't watched the goals back. Why don't we watch the goals back?
Yes.
I was going to finish with the goals, but if you want to put the goals on now, you can.
Yes, here we go. Apologies, I seem to have labelled the goals the wrong way around, but so that was here is the opener.
They are two fantastic goals, actually, and we should have had a few more, to be fair. But, just didn't happen. Now, one of the comments, Claudia, I've just spotted, Neil Jackers, and this is a good question for everybody. If we won the league, would it be bigger than 1987, Claudia?
No.
No.
For pure nostalgia, I mean, winning the FA Cup, there's only two major trophies you can win in our football world, in the English football. That's the main top league and the FA Cup. Now, when we won the FA Cup in '87, it was a huge achievement because everybody took it seriously. But in terms of now, the future of the club, promotion is massive.
Yeah.
If the reward for going up nowadays was the same as it was back in those days, then no, because the chances are you could go up and down. Well, we proved we went up the one time, stayed there for 34 years, didn't we?
Well, we never went down. That's the problem, did we?
Exactly. But to win the FA Cup, and it's proven, it's very hard to do for clubs the size of Coventry City.
Yeah.
So look at the way Crystal Palace celebrated last year when they won it for the first time.
Yeah.
It's a massive trophy, and you get into Europe as well still.
Yeah, even though we were cruelly robbed of it at the time.
Now, if the question was, would you take winning the FA Cup this season or promotion? It's promotion all day long because we've won the FA Cup.
It's a great question from Neil Jackson.
It is. That's my take on it.
But I probably agree with that. If you asked me back then the FA Cup would be a fantastic achievement, as you say, because clubs did go up and down quite regularly, although Coventry never. We stayed in the top flight for all that time. But now, I think it's slightly different, isn't it? It's all... it's got to be promotion, simply because it's worth a lot more money. £200 million you get if you go up. And that, that's nothing to be sniffed at, is it? At the end of the day, if you've got a chance to go up, you've got to take it. And I think... that would be a great opportunity for any club to have £200 million come into their accounts all of a sudden. They can do things they would never be able to do previously. And of course, then you're on the system. Then, if you like, you're in the system. If you do go back down, you will get parachute payments. Whereas before we never. And now, if you go up and you do happen to come back down, you will get parachute payments with that as well. So. It's about the money, isn't it? It's all about the money, unfortunately, these days. I know people don't like that, but unfortunately, that's it. It's all about.
What's your take, Vicky?
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because I don't like Claudio said the FA Cup is such a massive trophy. That's a massive part of our history. But I just think going up now is just going to set us on a different path. And I think that we'll look back, and this will be another momentous time in our history. And there's if you think there's so many fans of this club who have never seen us play Premier League football.
Yeah.
Like, there's those of us that are lucky enough. So like Jack, like anyone of his generation and below, I've never had the fortune of seeing us as a Premier League club, and that's massive to get back there. So I think it's a hard shout because I think that they're probably equally momentous in their own right. So which isn't really the most like yes or no answer, but I just think this is such a momentous opportunity for us to get back and give the fans the chance to see what it's like in the Premier League and hopefully something to build on. And like Paula was saying, like we said, like European football, all these sorts of things that we like. You just don't know. We just get that a bit closer to all those opportunities if we do it right.
I was going to say, to quote Arsene Wenger, I cannot comment, I did not see. So I can't exactly give an opinion to that, but I'll ask a follow-up question then. we obviously credit Shillett and Curtis as potentially our greatest ever managers, along par with Jimmy Hill, and maybe even Mark Robins needs to be in that conversation at least. But with promotion this year, then, does that put Lampard in the same category as Shillett and Curtis?
No, not for me.
But if promotion's just as important or more important, Claudio?
No, because we could go up this year and then go down next year, then get a new manager, then he takes us up. We can have 25 statues around. It'd be like the Circus Maximus in Rome, or the Olympic Stadium in Rome, where they've got that little training facility outside with all the gods around this, all the statues of the gods. You know, I don't think it is, because although he's improved what we had in the first place, it's an improvement on what was already put in place. You could say, build a statue for Doug King. He's made this happen.
Will's watching. He might say that anyway.
He's made it happen, hasn't he?
Would you say then, if Frank keeps us up, and then we, like you say, a few years, and we're up sort of pushing like European football, that's enough then, isn't it? That would be enough to put him in that conversation.
Yeah, he needs to be here longer than 2.5 years before we start building statues and promote him in the. You got to realise, and also you have to realise, George Curtis was here from 1955 and stayed at the club till the day he died. John Sillett was here since 1961-62 season. Yeah, that's the difference. That's proper longevity. That's 30.
Proper legacy. There's a proper legacy there, isn't there?
I mean, almost a lifetime for George Curtis. That's a big difference. You know, we shouldn't be putting up statues willy-nilly, is what I'm saying.
So on that basis, then, as someone that's only seen, has seen neither yet, I've not seen promotion to the first division or an FA Cup win, but it sounds like as a more monumentous achievement, an FA Cup is that, especially given how important an FA Cup was pre-2010, let's say. Because nowadays it's downplayed a little bit, isn't it? You know, replays are scrapped. There's crap VAR decisions, and clubs don't take it as seriously as it is. But what's more important, especially to us, it is absolutely promotion. With the money we get, with the exposure we're going to get as a club, and with the future of our club. We all keep saying it. 8 years ago, we could have died. If we didn't get promoted from League Two, we could have gone south, completely the opposite direction to where we've come. And this would just be the cherry on top. It would be one of the most important things in our club's history, especially after the last 10 to 15 years we've had as fans.
Yeah, because that night at Notts County, if you like, if you go back to there, I'm sure we were all there that night. If it went the other way, it could have been so different. And it did go the other way for them, didn't it? Because they fell out of the league, didn't they, after that? Believe it or not. They went actually out of the league, Notts County, and had to fight back. Yeah. So,
but if you consider how much of a worse, I mean, they fell apart after that and dropped out of the league, and then struggled. They've struggled to sort of. But if you think of the position we were in, we didn't own the ground then. We had all that. We were in all that trouble. I think if we'd have dropped out of the league, I don't think I genuinely feared that we'd have a football club to still support. So you have to think that's how momentous this turnaround is. It's just crazy, isn't it? We were 1 minute you're thinking, we're going to have a football club to support. The next minute you're thinking we're going to be in the Premier League, and like in sort of 8 seasons. It's just crazy. But that whole thing is momentous, and just getting back there. But I think, and that's why it's just a difficult call, isn't it, for Neil's question, because so few clubs out the sort of main big teams win the FA Cup. Like there's the teams like your Liverpools and all that have won those as trophies, but you're with the sort of teams that fall into that bracket. To win an FA Cup is a massive achievement, and the fact that we've got one of those on our record, it's massive, and you can't discount that. But just getting back into the Premier League and actually having a club to be proud of, and a stadium that we own, and everything that's come about in the last few seasons, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. And, from all us that can remember the FA Cup final, it was a lot of things have changed since then. And we were talking about it earlier, about the days when the FA Cup final used to, the whole Saturday used to be around that FA Cup final, didn't it? From the build-up, the cameras on the coaches, watching grandstand and watching the whole day, no matter who was playing. Everybody liked watching the FA Cup final, and now it's sort of been devalued a little bit, hasn't it? With for various reasons, really, I suppose. And but yeah, at the time, my best moment for City was, as I said earlier, was the FA Cup win. But now it's probably promotion would be good. It would be absolutely fantastic if we went up, and it would mean so much to a lot of people out there. A lot of the youngsters who've never seen us play, say, in the Premier League. Like we've seen it, but a lot of the youngsters haven't seen it, and it would be great to get back to the promised land, and great to stay there, wouldn't it? As well.
It's been 70 years since Newcastle United won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So it's not like an easy trophy to win, but and someone's pointed out it's unique to us because it's the first one we won, major trophy. So it is a hard comparison to make now, because the ultimate goal now is the Premier League, secure the finances. It's just huge for this club to go forward, and that's where we're at, aren't we? And we're in a fantastic position to do it at the minute.
Yeah,
which I didn't think I'd be saying when we played Hull and we drew 0-0 on that Saturday afternoon, first game of the season, and we wondered what was all the fuss about.
we got some comments coming in actually from Raymond Ryan, that says the FA Cup in '87 had a far more prestigious meaning than sadly it has today. Also, Coventry had once previously made the league pinnacle in 1966. Yes. Any more comments that stick out for you, Claudia, before we go up?
There is. I've been scouting around. St Curtis turned a failing relegation-bound side in FA Cup winners in about 2 years and no money. That can't be forgotten, says Mark Rainbow. Will King says, Doug always finishes, I know my younger brother. Going to get the job done.
Yes, gets over the line.
Day Sports Photos. Hill beats Lampard. Hill went from third tier to top tier. Lampard inherited a side that was on the edge of promotion to begin with, which is true.
Yes, that's very true.
Had we turned up for that first half against Luton, we'd have probably been there already. You'd have got your free season tickets a lot earlier. Raymond Ryan says the FA Cup in '87. Oh, you've just read that one out.
Yeah, just read one.
Paul Stratton says, Wilking Shays, that's all we need to know. Great news.
You know, on that point about we could have already been there if we'd have, like, for the Luton playoff. Do you guys feel that that would have been great, that we're actually now in a better place to go up? Like, that would have probably been a couple of seasons too early, whereas now we just feel in a better place as a club to give that a shot. Do you think that whilst it had been great to go up there and that was heartbreaking on the day, that actually on reflection that going up now we're in a much better place to cope with that? Do you think?
I remember Clive Eakin saying at the time when we didn't go up, he thought, if we didn't go up now, we're never going to do it. There's never going to be a better time to get promoted. We're not going to do it. And I think
Clive,
I think a lot of us thought the same thing, though. We've blown it. We've blown it. But I think you're right, Vicky. I think that bit of heartache, the semi-final Man United, because a lot of these players have been around since, obviously, they've been around 2 or 3 seasons now. You get used to disappointment last season as well, and it either makes you or breaks you. I think it's made some of these players and made them stronger.
Yeah,
and made a bit like Brentford when they kept missing out. They took some.
They did. They missed out 2 or 3 seasons, didn't they? They missed out.
They did, and then they basically got over the line. And I think we're doing similar. So I think it may have been a bit early, although we didn't think it at the time. But and also we've got a huge fan base now. The fan base has grown. It's doubled since then, pretty much. Yeah. You know, it's massively improved.
And of course now, obviously in a better position, we own the ground and stuff like that. So behind the scenes, I think it's better, more organised as well now. So yes, you're right. I think we are in a better position now than we were then.
I mean, you look at the trajectory Luton Town went on. Yes, they went up. Yes, they were brilliant. They speculated in the Premier League, and all credit goes to them. They gave it the best shot that year of staying up, didn't they? Of the 3 teams that went up, but they're in League One, and that absolutely could have been us. You know, Doug was a fresh new owner. We hadn't done anything at that point by signing players. I mean, I know we got some loans in, but who knows? The whole trajectory could have been very different. The foundation building could have been very different. We're not a football team now. When Mark Robins took over in League Two, he was running the football club pretty much. He wasn't just the manager of the team. He was running the football club, him and Dave Boddy, when Dave came in. Now look at us. We've got a head of retail. We've got all these, like Claudia and I go to meetings occasionally with Doug, and we see all these people. If that would have existed 8 years ago, it would have been Mark Robins, Dave Boddy, and Tim Fisher if he could be asked to turn up. You know, that would have been it. We've got everything in place now. We are a properly run club, business, foundation. I said at the start of the season, whatever you think of the team and players we have, we are now a properly run club from top to bottom. This is why Frank Lampard is a head coach, not a manager. Frank has probably got absolutely nothing to do with anything other than the players that we employ. And that just proves the trajectory that we have gone from 3 years ago, losing to Luton Town, to where we are today. We have built absolutely everything. We own the ground. The training facilities are fantastic. You know, it's where we've got. I can't believe I keep saying it. Where we've come from is where we've come from. But we're a proper club now. We are a proper club, business, entity, whatever you want to call us. And this isn't going to crumble. Whether we go up and bounce straight back down, who cares? The football club in its entity is not going to crumble. And you look at, well, like I say, where Luton Town went, they've gone down to League One. Who knows if they're even going to get out of it? I don't even know where they are in the table. Are they going to get up? I doubt it.
So typical. So typical. They get relegated. You don't care anymore. Typical.
Right, I'm just looking. They're 10th. They're 10th.
Middle of the table, yeah.
They're 10th. Like, that's not going to be us. If we could come down with the worst points record in the Premier League next year, we would not do a League One. We would not do a Luton and get a League One. We would not crumble. We would not fall apart, because we have a fantastic setup now that no one can disagree with, and that's including the higher fan base. You know, all the money that's been poured into this club from us the fans.
This guy disagrees with you, chat.
Us.
Sorry, not this you. Sorry, guys, disagree. I think promotion a couple of years ago would have a parachute payments and kept Big Vic and Hamer, or got more money for them. Would we? Well, would we have kept them? We never know, do we?
I think Vic was off whatever. I think Hamer might have stayed, but Vic was going whatever.
One thing we can say about Hamer is he might not have signed a contract, so we could have gone up and kept Hamer. That would have been brilliant, but he had 1 year left on his contract. We could have then been relegated and lost Hamer for free. As it stands, we got 15 million for him.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, equally, just on that point, just from what Jack was saying, then obviously Luton did get the parachute payments, but it didn't help them, did it? They're now in League One, and I think that's what we're talking about, like that stability that the last couple of seasons have given us. So we might have gone up then, and we might have had more money, but it doesn't mean that we'd have been in a better position overall, like Jack's just eloquently explained.
I think we're in a much better position now than we were then.
But we're a well-run club and business now. Luton Town aren't that. They took their golden ticket, and like I said, fair play to them. They achieved what they achieved on the pitch, but that was not sustainable. What we have now is absolutely sustainable in every manner of the word.
I think Luton are well run. They just weren't prepared to pay the money to bring in loads of players, because they don't want to get stung again, do they? That's the difference.
That's what cost them.
They can't do anything until they build a new ground. They can't generate the revenue. I think that was the issue. So they took the gamble, and in terms of staying up, it didn't work. But at least they're going to build the stadium, supposedly. Will King of Shave says, "I was at the Hull opener." Yes, you were, Will. We were in the boardroom together.
Commiserations, Will.
Yes, we had a little chat, a little chit chat. And I'm sure we said, Will, didn't we, that you watch come March the 1st, we'll be top of the league, 8 points clear. John Merck says, if West Ham can win the European trophy, why can't Coventry get to the Champions League in a few years with the money Cover going to get for going up? And if Frank stays,
why not?
Well, why not? You have to dream, you have to believe. Doug King took a massive decision to sack Mark. It looks like he's got it spot on. He also brought the ground. Absolutely amazing. Steve Curry. He says, Doug King is the only one at the club at the moment deserving of a statue in my eyes. I think he's achieving brilliance. We are quite lucky to have an owner like him. His decisions have been sometimes very hard, but seems to make the right decision all the time. And even when he doesn't, he makes sure it is. You don't become a successful businessman to his extent of actually knowing how to run a business. It's quite impossible. Mark Rainbow says, Hill took City from the 4th tier to the top division 6 seasons. Robbins and Lampard combined look like matching that in 8 seasons. Anthony Pettifer says, Vicky, yes, better place now for promotion. James Hollyoak says, we own the ground, we have better players, we have the right people in the right places to go up. Foundations in place, says Will. Sai Balarangan says, think we'll need more investment from Doug to survive in the Premier League. Wonder if he'll be looking to make deals with US investors a la Brum and Wrexham. I reckon he won't be. I think, personally, I think Doug King, I see him as a lone wolf in the business world. I think he trusts himself to do it, and I think he's prepared to, well, basically trust himself, if that makes any sense, and surround himself with people who know what they're doing.
Well, that's evident, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have we got this over 2 hours, by the way? We're talking about corduroy suits for 15 minutes, weren't we?
What's amazing? Well, we're going by a lot of the questions being asked on the comments, really, and we're answering them. So,
yeah, we don't do a lot of those normally, do we? But we thought we'd do that. Well, I'll run out now because we could go on forever, couldn't we? No, really, I have run out.
Yeah. I've just seen this one.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Who would be the worst club to go up with if Wrexham go up?
Right.
Will they spend big? Well, I think they would. They'd have to, wouldn't they?
I'm trying to look at the table now. Let's look at the table.
I think Wrexham will probably spend big because they've got the money, they've got the people behind them, they've got the backing. I mean, they're paying big wages as it is now, aren't they? So,
to be honest, it'll only be Wrexham, but you've got to try and convince these people to go there. Then, you know, it's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, there's more to it, and there's more to it than that. If you're a player.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Six years ago or so, we were giving the likes of Wrexham, Jordan Ponticelli. Now we're giving them Ben Sheaf, and there's Dom Hyam, there's Callum Doyle.
Yeah, well, they got Coventry City B side at the minute.
James Hollyoak, nice to have a positive show. We are going up, of course.
We are.
And we'll leave the final comment to Will, King of Shaves. Night team, have a great week.
I think we will.
Cheers, Will.
I'm just off for a shave myself.
Well, we're not sure if we are going to be playing next Saturday. We'll have to wait to midweek to find whether Port Vale and Bristol City game result. So, I mean, we're hoping for a Port Vale win. Then we can play Bristol City on Saturday. If not, we'll have to have a rest for a week. But either way, we don't care. We're top of the league. We're points clear, and let the others catch as if you can, I say. That's it. Very good night to you all. Thank you, Claudio, coming on as normal. Thank you, Jack, for your input. And thank you, Vicky.
Cheers.
I was going to say mind the gap, but I'll say mind a step to you.
Cheers, Chippy.
Playoff Sky Blues, and a very good night.
We are top of the league. We are top of the league. We are top of the league.
Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the fans.